Hello and welcome to Oceans of Glitter Designs. Today we're going to make these really cute Phoenix Suns necklace and earrings for a gift for my mom. I've got about 30 mLs of epoxy. That's 15 mLs part A, 15 mLs part B. I'm going to get it nice and mixed up so that it's perfectly clear. Make sure you scrape the edges and the sides of your cup real well. That way everything gets mixed in and there's nothing left over on the edges that won't remain uncured. In a separate cup, I'm going to dissolve a little bit of mica powder in some 99% isopropyl alcohol. I'll just take a couple little stickfuls, and not really stickfuls, but a little dab of my stick, and put it in the bottom of this cup. Then put just a few drops of my alcohol in to dissolve it. The alcohol is not going to do anything to hurt the epoxy. I am putting just enough in to make the mica powder liquefied. Then it mixes in really well and you don't have to worry about any unmixed mica powder in your epoxy. I'll take the epoxy and I'm going to scrape my little cup and just make sure I scrape every little bit of it out. Use every last drop that I can. This spatula is amazing for getting down at all the little corners of your cups of your epoxy. So I'll just take that little spatula, mix it all into this cup, take my little stick and get it all stirred up. Got my little baby wipe here. I'm going to use that to wipe my spatula off. It's silicone. The baby wipe really wipes silicone spatulas and things like that off really well. And then I will actually take my epoxy and run it through my bubble remover. Make sure there's no bubbles in it. That way when I pour it, then I won't have any bubbles in my project. I was going to use that little Mickey Mouse head, but decided against it for my extras and decided to go ahead and use my pendant tray for my leftovers. So I'm going to pour these little round discs. They're about an inch and a quarter, maybe. So they're not going to be too big for earrings. So I'll just make sure I'll pour the epoxy in there. Gave it a little squirt with some alcohol prior to pouring the epoxy in. That way the epoxy spreads out real nice and easy and hopefully prevents any bubbles from happening in the corners of the molds themselves. Those little 90-degree angles really love to hold on to bubbles. So as you can see here, there's just a perfectly amount left for my little pendant tray to make the extra pendants that I am making for this project. Use that little scraper cup again. Make sure you get every last bit of epoxy out. That way nothing goes to waste. I'm going to use my little dotting tool and I'm going to run it around the edge of these molds in the little corner. So that way, hopefully we won't have any bubbles that get stuck in the corners. Just run it around it like that, nice and gently. Wipe it off a little bit. Hopefully there will be no bubbles when we demold these little circles. I don't really need to do it in the pendant tray because it doesn't have the sharp corners that the bubbles are going to get stuck in, so I didn't do it in the pendant tray. So I'm just going to take that spatula and kind of wipe off all the edges, and hopefully there won't be too much cleanup when it comes to demolding these little discs. Okay, good morning, I'm back. These have been cured overnight, and so we're just going to take them out of the molds and get them made into the, sorry, I'm putting my gloves on. Get them made into the necklace and earrings sets for my mother. Where's my buffer? Okay. Put that over here. Okay. Let's pop these little guys out of here and see what kind of trimming we need to do. Yep, do a little bit of stuff on that. Trim a little bit of the edges off of that one. That one looks good. That one needs a little trimming, and that one needs a little trimming. So it doesn't really matter as far as, this stuff being on here, and just kind of sometimes it'll just pop right off. So let me get my little file and we'll get some trimming done. All right, take that. I'm going to buff both sides of these because UV resin doesn't typically cure to epoxy, so I'm going to give them a little scuff on each side. That way the UV resin will have a little bit of a bite to adhere to. So let's get that done. I'll clean them up real good with I use 99% isopropyl alcohol. Okay, that looks good. Take this little scuff. It's a nail buffer. I can get that to work on there. Scuff them all up, both sides. It just needs to scratch the surface a little bit so that the UV resin will adhere to it. Doesn't need to be crazy. And see, this is kind of, so when epoxy cures, it shrinks a little bit. So there's a little bit of a lip on there, but that's no big deal. Oh, there's a little bubble right there. I'll have to get that filled in first. But it doesn't matter, that little ridge in there, because I'm going to fill the back in. I'm going to fill both sides with the UV resin. So watch, I'll just take this, kind of just knock that off there like that, and it's perfect. Scuff that up. Scuff that side up. And this last one, oh, that's got quite a bit. And look, it just comes off nice and neat and easy. It just cleaned up. No big deal. Scuff that up a tad. And scuff this side up a tad. Grab me a little paper towel, my 99% alcohol. Wipe this off now that I got all the dust and everything all over it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to repair that little hole. So here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to get my UV resin. Put a little dab on my table, on my parchment paper. Oh, I don't know where my dotting tools went. Okay, let's just try this one again. Go. Put that under my UV light for just a second. Okay. That out of the way. Let's pop these little guys out. These are going to be the pendants for the necklaces. I know they're a little bit big, but it's just fun because my mom and I are huge Suns fans. So I'll maybe get those done first. Once I've got my little decals here and ready to go. Where's my scuffer? Scuff that up a little bit. Set that down. So when I was pouring these the other night, you guys saw, this was just what was left over after I poured my discs. Put those in a pendant tray. Put the rest in the pendant tray. Hadn't planned on doing that, but that's the way it worked out, and I have enough to make a necklace and earrings for both my mom and I to wear to the basketball games. So, that's good. Okay, so I have those. And I just did these on my Cricut, found the image, did a print and cut, measured this so that I knew that these were going to be the right size for me. And I'm just going to place that right there in the middle. Press that down. And this one. Right there in the middle. Pop that down. Then what I'm going to do is just take some UV resin, put it in my little cup, don't need a whole lot. And I've got this, it's called Snowflake. It's from Woody's Goodies. I'm not quite sure if they still are in business or not. I'll have to find out. But just dab a tiny, tiny bit, because this goes a long way. Just to give it a little bit of sparkle. And just pour it over the top. Just like that. Drag it all the way out to the edge. Now on the other ones, I will probably use my high viscosity UV resin. These I am not too concerned about because they do have the little dip in it and they've got a ridge, a lip that goes all the way around. That way I know that this epoxy is not going to fall out, run over the edge. So, and I mean, you can add just a touch more if you want to dome it a little bit. Just a little bit more. There we go. I think that looks good. I think it's all the way to the edge. Clean that off. I need to find my little torch. Okay, I've got this little torch. Just a little long neck lighter, a little small one. And what that's going to do is just pop there any bubbles that might be in there, but don't do it too long because the hotter you get this, the lower the viscosity it is, and then it could run over. So it thins it out when you get it and when you warm it up like that. So I'm just going to take that, pop it on my little tray. I'm going to turn the light on for just a second and let that kind of get a quick little hard cure. It's going to stay in there for a good few minutes, but I just want to get it started and then turn the light off because this light, I don't want it to ruin this resin that I'm working on. The exposure to the UV will harden this resin. Turn that off for a second. All right, let's pour this one on. I may need to mix up a touch more. Well, that's okay. I'm going to see my mom here in just a little bit. I can't wait to give these to her. She gave me some earrings for Christmas that were actually, they were like little ornaments that looked like little basketballs. They were cute. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to step up this show and I'm going to give her some actual Phoenix Suns ones, earrings and stuff. So I think she'll like them. So I'll just get that spread out, scrape every bit out of here. Nice little bit of sparkle, not too much. And just make sure you pull it all the way to the edges. Like a little piece of candy. Okay. That aside. Wipe my little stick off. Give that a little flick with the lighter to pop any bubbles. And then we'll just put that one in the light as well. And now I'm going to turn it on for the full time. So here we go. For these, oh, that did good. That did perfect. Okay. I've cut out this little basketball shape on my Cricut. So I need to kind of figure out how I want them. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter how you put them on the little circle, the disc at first. It's just how you want to put the logo on them. So I'm just going to put these right here in the little center. I am going to put a thin coat of UV resin over the top of them, just so I've got a smooth surface to work with. Oh, come on, let go. Release. There we go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. I'm actually going to do this. I saw on a video that I watched, her name's Michelle with Glitz and Glitter, that she put her UV resin in a bottle and used the brush to brush it on. And I think that's absolutely brilliant for something like this. It'll work perfectly. So I just got these bottles in Amazon. They just got here yesterday. So I'm going to fill it up with a little bit of UV resin. They're designed for like gel nail polish. Oh shoot, that's way too much. Okay, we're good. We're good. So they're designed for gel nail polish so that the polish doesn't cure. So we're just going to try it like this. I'm going to turn this back off because they've been in there plenty long. And I'm just going to brush this on like this. Oh, that's going to be perfect. So then you can get a nice, thin, smooth coat without having to worry about you building up too much of the bulk. But now I've got too much in there, and I don't know how I'm gonna. I'll dump some out into the little other jar for when I add the sparkle to it after I put the sun's logo on. Excuse me. Oh, these are going to be so cute. And then you just pull this directly to the edge, and you don't have to worry about it running over. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Let me get my UV flashlight. Give it just a quick little spot cure. That way I can pick it up, and I don't want the light to see that. I don't want to harden that brush. And it won't stick to my fingers, and then I can put it up here into the light. There. All right, and we'll just keep right on moving. Keep doing these one at a time, and oh, that's perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do on the back side, I am going to buff them, scuff them up as well, because I do want to coat the back side completely. I like to completely encapsulate my flatback bales into the resin. That way they're not going to come off. Make sure I've got them top side up so I know which direction the bales go. Right side up. Okay. A little wipe down with alcohol. Okay, so these are decent sized flatback bales. So I will take one and let me use this. Place it on here where I want it. Okay, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to turn this back off for just a minute so I don't cure my brush. But I just want to give this a couple little spot cures. So it'll hold that bale in place. I don't want to put the resin, the UV resin under it because it won't cure under it. So let's just give this a quick little cure. Then we will coat the entire backside. But that, those two little drops right there will hold that bale in place. So it'll stay where you want it before you coat the entire backside. Okay, that's good. Make sure that's up. Okay, same thing. A little bale, nice and centered. Make sure it's centered so your pendant's not a little wonky. Okay, right there, I think looks good. Just a couple little drops, and that will hold that bale in place. A little UV light. Okay, I'm going to turn this back on for just another minute, give that a little more chance to cure, and then I'll get them decaled. I got to figure out the direction of how I want the decals on there. Okay. Now I'm going to take those. I'm going to take these out. Are they ready? Yes, they are. Okay, I'm going to put these back in the light. Take the basketballs out. Put these up in the light and let those little spots cure. Okay, so now, I think I want them like about that. Okay, because here are the rest of the decals. Oh, what is that? Okay, there we go. Just put them right in the center. Tap them down nice and easy. Okay, and the last one. Okay, perfect. All right, so these are good to take out now. actually think I'm going to, yeah, I'm not going to use that cup. That one had the other resin in it. So let me grab a new cup. Where do I set my cups? This one I'm going to use my Let's Resin High Viscosity. I may have to grab a new bottle. Oh no, I think we're good. Perfect. Perfect. My mixing stick just a tiny. Oh, see, that could be a lot. Like I said, this stuff goes a long, long way. There we go. Oh my God, perfect. And the reason why I'm using the high viscosity is I want this side a little bit domed. So it's got, you know, it's not perfectly flat then. Oh yeah, that's definitely not going to be enough. Okay. That's okay. We have more, we can make more. It again. All right, here we go. Okay, these are all cured. Now this one came out and it's got, I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a drop. So sometimes if the resin cures too fast under the light, it can create these little domes, which is no big deal. I can sand those off. But these two are perfect. Okay, so what I'm gonna do with these, I'm going to take the resin that I put in my bottle. So what I'm going to do with those is I'm going to sand those little two spots off, and then I'll buff it down, and then I'll just put a thin coat of this over the top of it just to give it a nice shiny top coat again. But this, I'm going to really encompass my bail. And just brush it on to the edges so it doesn't run over, because this is the low viscosity UV resin and you don't want it to run over the edges and create drips down the sides. But I do want a good amount of it up here over my bail so it really kind of encapsulates it and holds it in, holds it onto my piece. So I'm gonna give that a quick little flash cure. Spot cure, not flash cure. I don't want flash cures in the resin world. Set that up here. Do that with this one. Same thing. Really encapsulate that bail. You know, if you just put this bail into wet resin, what the UV resin that's underneath of it won't cure, because clearly the light can't see through it, and the light has to be able to see the resin to cure it. So with this, we'll just give it a nice little encapsulation, nice little shiny back. Just give it a little bit of an extra dose over the bail. Give it a little spot cure. And throw it up here into the light. Turn it on. Now let's fix these two. So I've got this nail file. So I'm just going to take it and buff that down a little bit so it's nice and smooth. So you can see where the spot was right there. It was raised up a little bit. Then I'm going to take this one and just kind of give the whole thing a little scuff. So the resin really has something to adhere to. And I don't want to put these bails on first before I do this to hold on to, because if you do, I mean, they're not flat on the back, so they would be sitting on an angle. So I want to wait until I'm done to put these bales on. I have smaller ones that are flat on the back that would make it a little easier for me to hold on to, but I'm just going to do it like this. Get a little bit of my alcohol, rub that off. Do the same thing to this one. This one's got a little bit of a bigger one. You can see the raised area being sanded down first. Then I'm going to go over it, clean it off with my alcohol. And I can take my brush on resin. Now I have brush on resin. I love this little idea. It's brilliant. It's sticky on my arm. And just go back over it, and look, you've got a flawless finish without the worry of this running over the edge because you're brushing it on so incredibly thin. Take this, hold it down, that way I don't have to try and get my big old dumb fingers in there, and that's not going to leave any marks or defects or anything on your final project, your final piece. Go over it, give it a little once over under the light. You know, you can use your light as a gauge to see how smooth everything is. Your light's got a little quick cure. Put that up into here. And do the same thing with this guy. But let's give it a little look. Oh, I see a little area over here that didn't get covered. See, when you look over it with your light, the light shines everywhere that the resin is. And if it's not shiny, a little bit dull, you can tell that you didn't get your resin completely covered over the surface. Right, there we go. Then I'm just going to do the bales on the back of these, just like I did on the two pendants. So when these come out, I'll do one of those first, just to kind of go over it again. Turn that on. This I need to make sure is straight up, so I know exactly where that's going to go. Hold my finger there and turn this light off for a second. Oh, open that back up. Put a couple little drops on there just to hold that bale in place. Then you can work with it a little easier once that bale is stuck in place. Then we'll get these made into some earrings and necklaces, and you'll see how stinking cute they are. Okay, so I took these cups that I already used my resin in, and I put them in the light. Pops are right out, clean, brand new, so I can reuse these cups. You've got that little fun thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use some of my regular UV resin for this part. Those are done. And I did find some of this little orange glitter. Now, you don't want to use a whole lot. You got to still make your resin see-through. And I don't want to make this a real thick coat because I'm not using the high viscosity and I don't want it to run over the edge. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this. Just want to give the back just a little bit of sparkle. Put a little bit of that in there. And a little bit more. So I've got quite a bit of resin in there. Give that a little stir. Oh, see, and it's just going to make it this nice, cute little shiny sparkle for the back of these pieces. was thinking it was the bail was because it's not flat. It was going to be lopsided laying here on my table. But I'm just going to push this all the way to the edge, just like I did before, and now I've got this bail that I can hold on to. Oh, that's so cute. I love this little pop of sparkle in there. And then completely encompass that bail again, just so it's not going to come off. Push it all the way to the edge carefully. Okay, give it a little spot cure so it doesn't roll off when you're moving it. Move that out of the way so you don't cure the resin in your cup and waste all that. And just pop that right up into the light. Let me grab the rest of these out. I'm going to turn that one on. What I'm going to do with these, turn it back over. I have chains that I can make, but I also have, and I think I might want to use one of these. I don't know. Let's see how it looks on one of these. I like these necklaces. So this little end will fit right through your bail, if I can get it to go in there. Stop wiggling around. Okay, here we are. Hard to do this with my gloves on. And look at how cute that is. I love that. Okay, we'll get the rest of these done. Oh, that's glowing in there. All right, let's get the rest of these done, and then I'll get the earring pieces put together and show you the final result. I may put another coat of resin over the top of these, so let me take these off of there just to give them a little bit of extra doming and pop on there. So I think I am going to do that. Maybe go over it with my high viscosity and dome it up just a little bit. But these you'll have to hold, because when you set them down, because that bail's not flat, it's not going to be level. You know what I really do like to use? I've got a pair. Well, let's try these. Oh no, here they are. I kind of like to use these because it'll clamp it down and you can hold it real easily. When you're putting that top coat on there. Push it all the way to the edge. I'm using the high viscosity on this one. It'll give it that nice dome. I'm going to kind of tilt it down, get some of that to run down towards the bottom. It's not going to run real far. I'm going to add just a touch more, just to give it a pretty good dome. I'm going to bead right down the center of it. I might be getting a little carried away with this. I don't know. Probably not. Okay, I think that's good. I'm going to pop bubbles. Right there. Come on. Really? Now my clicker's going to go out of... There we go, right there. Okay, get a little quick little spot cure. That way when I set it down in the light, it doesn't run over to the edge, because it's not even, because it's on that flat back veil that's not level with the level flat. Okay, good. There we go. And just click that open, set that down. Let's do the same thing with this one. dollop of resin on there. A little click to pop some bubbles. Light on real quick. And pop that into the light. Give that a quick cure for a couple of minutes, and then we will finish these two off. I think these are done. Let's see. Well, guess it's not going to click if my little dotting tool isn't. This stuff builds up on these so bad. Let me just take a little razor. I'll show you here in a second. Where did my razor blade go? My razor, my craft knife. Grab one. And clean all of the excess resin off of the ends of these. It just will come right off. Be careful, these knives are very sharp. But like I said, resin builds up on these so bad. Oh, there we go. I think we got it. Yep, that is done. That one I think is all finished. Okay. Here's these two ready to be made into some earrings. I'll do those real quick while those are curing. So here we go. I'm just going to take a couple little jump rings. Oh, that's more than a couple. That'll do though. Turn that over so that the opening's up on top. And I like these little bent pliers a lot. Open that up a little bit. Slide it right on there. Now make sure you get this on here the right way so it's going into your ear right. There's that. Then you could dress these up and add some beads to it to, you know, make that a little bit of a longer dangle, but look at that. I think that's really cute. I think that's really cute. And there you are. There's the basketball earrings. Gift from my mother. She's gonna love them. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Okay, so I decided I was going to make one of these into, well, hopefully that fits in there. Let me double check and see if that even fits through the bail. Otherwise, I'll have to grab some of my other chain. Haven't used this chain yet. Find the end of it. That'll be cute. One little more clip. Okay, where's the end of this chain? I'm going through all this trouble. There we go. I don't even know if it's going to fit through the bail. Oh, it does. Good. Oh, I like that. A little bit of a heavier chain. So what I'm going to do, get this out of the way, I'm going to make this into an 18-inch chain. And if she wants it any shorter, or if she wants the black one, either one will be fine. So I'll do one this way and one that way. So that's about an 18-inch right there. So I'm just going to take my clippers. Hopefully this will cut through this chain. It's awful thick. Oh, you know what? I don't have to cut through. I can bend it. There we go. So I don't have to worry about trying to cut that off. Like I said, I've not used this chain in any of my jewelry making yet. Open it a little bit further. I shouldn't probably be using those to do that. Well, there we go. Perfect. All right, and I'm going to get a bigger jump ring right here for my clasp. Where'd my clasps go? I just had them. No, I just got them out. Okay, so. Oh, I wanted that longer. I don't want short like that. That's okay. I can make a longer one if she prefers to have a longer one. I've got plenty of chain. So what I'm going to do, these are for the earrings. Get one more of these out to attach my clasp with. Should have made that like a 22 or 24 inch chain. Just take it, open it up, put your clasp on. That. The other end, and I know it's got an area where you can clasp it, but I like to have a bigger hoop on the end. Could actually add an extender to this if she wanted one. So there we go. Now we've got this on a cute little chain too. So there's that. Here's this. Here's these. Move this stuff out of the way. Okay, here's everything all finished. I'm so excited about it. She's going to be here in about 10 minutes. I can't wait to see her, give her these little gifts, see which one she decides she likes better, get you a little bit more of a close-up. And then the fun sparkly back. Oh, I'm going to get my hand back in the frame. And I didn't do the backs on these sparkly just because, you know, earrings kind of tend to twist and turn around and you'll see the backs of the earrings sometimes. So there's that. And then this set. Which one do you guys like better? The oval? Or the rectangle? Or the chain? Or the black ribbon? And there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Whoa, my camera's kind of deciding to go on a little wild ride. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe and share. And I will see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye. Come here, Mom. I have a gift for you. You can pick one or the other.
Oh, how cute. I love it. How cool. Where'd you find the little?
I made them. I printed them up and made them.
How cute. Okay, I'll take these.
You want that set? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Very cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, let me get my little file and we'll get some trimming done. I almost fell out of my chair.